Time to go.
Light it up!
The range knows it.
Transfixed! Yeah! Add astro... Add astro. Thank you for complete.
Stabilize! One with nature!
Overruled.
Solidify! Into the wind! Stabilize!
Let's light it up.
One with nature!
Transfixed.
Laid bare! Into the wind! The wind knows me.
Transfixed.
Like this.
I cannot help but feel that you bringing me here is some sort of an assassination.
Stabilize!
Pay your dues.
Looks like I went too far.
Bow your head. I find that the beauty of
Ignorant.
Stabilize!
Into the wind. I can still another.
let the mighty be humble.
Wind knows. Dada Kondala. Stabilize! Into the wind!
Silence!
Pay your due. You can't run from death.
Solidify! The wind knows me.
Settle down!
Can't run from death.
Stabilize! Into the wind!
Bow your head.
Can't run from death.
Gather!
Get out of here!
One with nature!
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon-class commission, right?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago. It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot. If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing. But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name. They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
Alright then, let's go! I'm starting to get really curious about this whole thing. To Vimara Village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy? If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
favors. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vermara Village.
Ah, so you're here about that, then. You're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us. Well, we've pretty much had it up to here in questions, and the area around the village has practically been overturned in search of clues.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, guess you are really sick of answering.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have a very strong impression of him. When you live in the same village as someone, we just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long gone by now. At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know, and that was the only logical conclusion.
Alright, specifics aside then, what kind of person was...
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind, sort of. I chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems...
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise. There aren't many young people like him nowadays. So genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person.
Alright, thanks for the information.
It's that guests I hear.
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
So that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to, with my failing eyesight. I'm afraid I can't offer much about his appearance. But I do remember hearing the sound of his voice. Not recently, of course. That loss has left me feeling quite empty. I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he never seemed lonely. In fact, he was usually the one offering companionship to others. He would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open ears. As the village chief, I owe him many thanks, helping villagers navigate difficult moments in their lives.
Wow, he seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance, but, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or family situation, right?
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. Well, Traveler, what do you think? I don't think so too. Like, the name thing. It's so weird that no one remembered and nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived. It's like this guy's been erased from reality or something. Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased? Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one.
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right? You're here for the...
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vimara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the missing villager? Are there any leads you...
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but...
There's no rush. I'll let him talk.
Something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Let's light it up!
Stabilize! Into the wind! Laid bare!
Let's light it up! Transfixed!
This is where you fall. Overruled! What greater pleasure is there than the unexpected? Stay close and you will live.
Now that's what I call treasure!
Sounds good to me.
One with nature!
Transfixed!
Time to broaden our horizons.
Impressive bounty.
Sounds good to me.
Oke, malam. Selamat malam juga.
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky or stop to feel the wind against our skin. I was actually adopted by the people of the Mar village. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody. But for the longest time, I didn't know who I could talk to, or if I should say anything at all. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden. Really? You know exactly how I feel? Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well, I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now.
Wow, you two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore. I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away.
Still not much.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it, every time we talked, time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this? Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
This is order. Stabilize. Into the wind. The wind knows me. Overruled. Fallen leaves, adorn my night, one with nature. I will have order. Solidify.
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up. If you hadn't been here, I'm not sure what I would have done.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vilmara village have been a lot more active. They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vilmara village just in case. If the Abyss Order is plotting something that could spell Wait a second. That person! It's Dainsleif!
Wow.
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others.
Yep, see you later, Atosa! Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting just...
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose? No matter. It may have taken you a while. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the hilly trail activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilly trail activity is merely a...
Still, the hilly trail activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should stick...
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy. And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk.
Wow.
So that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased hilly trail activity, and that is certainly not much to go off of.
Right! That mysterious voice he heard in his sister's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who...
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done. The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and his name is Vedderfolnir, the Visionary. I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Kanria. The wise Roptatir, the visionary Vedderfolnir, Gold Rhindaughter, the foul Sertalogi, and Rehir of Solnari, Rerir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhindaughter is the one who created Albedo. Sertalogi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vedderfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clotar to create the Abyss Order was he.
They were once people of great esteem in Kanria, those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields. The 6 of us, together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my forgiveness. Indeed, if they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world. course. As I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osial and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical experiment. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase. In fact, there are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in...
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes? My recent investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
Wait, then our commission here in Vimara Village, the person who's...
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow. This missing persons case could...
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little... tired. Paimon used way too much brain juice yesterday. Well, let's go find Dane. We've got a lot... Dane? Hello, Dane? Did something happen?
The missing person from your commission.
Oh! A young guy? Early 20s? Serious?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that... memories...
Maybe we just...
No. It wasn't a dream. They're memories. And I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order.
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to...
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake too? Maybe, but why would he do something like...
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important...
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory wasn't it? Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe, however, considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, come with me. We must check what...
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid?
Of course.
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Hey, wait up!
Let's light it up! The wind knows it.
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
Teamwork is true! Into the wind. Transfixed.
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism. Ah, the door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the Abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
Stabilize!
Everybody stand back!
One with nature.
Overruled!
Solidify!
Into the wind.
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance.
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the late...
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might find... Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer. I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety and that of the Eye? That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say. But if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
Kampret, nggak bertarung.
The Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines are all out of whack. We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on. Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago?
In the New World, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering. Such was the price they paid.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now? It sounded so gentle. Could that voice... Oh, this is weird. Let's check... Looks like the same thing is happening over here, too.
You see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to release your tears. You no longer...
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, you sleep well, Father. Sleep well. When you awake, that which differentiates.
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the Hilichurls have calmed down, then let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing Grandpa Amadea, is everyone alright? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? Thank you for your concern, but as far as I'm aware...
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone missing, you say? Who would that be?
Huh? Well, you know, the young guy from Vamara Village. That's kind of the whole reason we're...
I do apologize. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is.
But how is that? Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Amadea about the... What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again? You're right.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. Then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing? Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was some...
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him. And apparently he just... Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with...
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukadevada, no one remembers him. Because there's been a change in people's memories. If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, that could explain why the villagers said he hadn't gone missing. If this person only exists in people's memories, maybe we're in someone's memory right now.
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the leyline disturbances. We're in someone else, just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time. That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all. Right. If he's someone who only exists in people's memory, but didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village? Who knows how long this leyline disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that much time, and we don't even know whose memory this is. Good idea. That'll help us narrow... We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Can we try to figure out more about him using what we... Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow...
memories seem to be set in or near Vimara village, but I'm still not sure if they're restricted to this location. If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone's original recollection. That would make it much harder to avoid suspicion. There's a difference between memories that arise from lived experiences and those that are implanted into the mind. Maybe not. We don't have any way to prove whether certain memories were simply forgotten.
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That must mean time. That's the tell of the fake memories! The implanted memories are basically taking place outside of the regular 24 hours. If the memories included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people to tell that, like, there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over.
The color of the sky coincides with the moment in time she described. Dainsleif had memories implanted into his mind. Could it be that it's happened more? We thought Chief Amadea forgot about the missing villager, but it turns out... No, that doesn't seem...
Oh, right! That's exactly what it...
Oh, come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk. Just like time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd...
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory. Yeah, that's where the...
Makanya dia yang muncul di atas pohon anak kecil dua orang. Kariber? Ada kariber juga.
So, you see, Granny Jahiat was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. It's okay if you don't. You could also just...
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and thoughtful young woman. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Oh, right! This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet!
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation
another time, huh?
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
Bear!
Born into abject sorrow, he shall... You're... Kari Bear Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw... This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her. But I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to
Ah shit, mulai lagi. Apa artinya itu, Cok?
I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world after... it's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But despite his intentions for me, I never truly became. In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant. As for your question, the Loom of Fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But as more of it is completed, its power once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability, but it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form, after all. That. I was wrong to implant those. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed, as if... I know what you must... Why would I do something so meaning? But I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no... I was curious, so I selfishly... Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been... I know it sounds stupid, after all. My life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness, even the form you see before you, was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. And imagined version of what I would look like if I had the... I know. But there's nothing I can do. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword, you mean? No need. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean the loom of fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the princess. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. A very thorough plan. That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already. Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary. And I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor in the face of everything they could be planning. I fear I'm too in any case. I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, you remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world. That story managed to dispel my fears. My goal was simple. To use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, to implant a specific memory into them. In that memory, I would tell them a story. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, all that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. But now, the bedtime story is finished.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The loom of fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Even as a hilly churl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the heavenly principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Ether?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you, but for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together, you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me. Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean...
I miss you too, Ether. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes, let alone my own brother.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our inability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. Everything in space will be wiped from existence. including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Setidaknya sudah ketemu sekali lagi.
Still so sleepy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they... Oh, and Dane came by just now? He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were alright and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane for ya. Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you cooked. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait. Well, what happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Bayram, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel... So there we were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree outside. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Curry Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is.
Seems like everyone thinks Curry Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now. Paimon wonders how Atos is doing. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so...
Follow the wind.
Hey, Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was part of the search party, so honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. It's funny, but I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series of memories. I'm just happy I got to meet him. Okay, I'll admit, I was dumped. Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye? You don't need to comfort me. It's just like Curry Bear said. It's the things we are... And, you know, if he has a heart... Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two.
Well, that should be it. Oh, right. Weren't you about to tell... A picture? Where'd that come from?
Wahahaha. Selesai.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows it. Laid bare. Witness my rise.
Stabilize!
Everybody stand back!
Into the wind. Transfix.